Across the state, there are dozens of animal sanctuaries, petting zoos, and rescue centers. In Indiana, it's legal to own nearly any kind of animal you can imagine as long as you go through the proper process. Adam Pinsker explains how state and federal laws govern possession of these animals.
Nestled in the woods deep in Owen County lies a haven for abandoned tigers, lions, and other felines.
I'm never bored. You know, I have an interesting job.
Director of the Exotic Feline Rescue Center, Joe Taft, says he took in his first big cat in 1991 and now has 150 of them.
They're not hard to find, actually. Especially a few years ago, you could find these animals on the internet, and quite often you could find them for as low as $500 or $1,000.
Taft says the online illegal pet trade is tapered off a bit. Now most of his animals come from defunct zoos or animal shows. Joe's facility is licensed by the USDA as an exhibitor. Visitors are allowed to look but not touch these animals, and with good reason.
They have the ability to kill you without being aggressive.
Just a swipe of a paw?
A swipe of a paw.
Taft's permit allows him to house any kind of cat or even a bear. His licensing fee is based on the number of animals he has on his property. Each year, the USDA inspects his facility, and as long as he doesn't have any violations, he pays his annual fee, and the agency renews his permit for another year. The rescue center is also subject to a routine inspection at least once a year, according to USDA policy. East of the Feline Rescue Center in Brown County, Kathleen Bowen is working through the process of opening a similar facility in Belmont. Her project, called Zoopolis, is permitted the same even though she won't have any exotic cats. What she wants to do is move a petting zoo she currently operates in neighboring Bartholomew County to this location. But at a zoning meeting about the center this week, dozens of residents showed up to voice their opposition to Owen's plan.
I have actually armed my daughter with bear mace because I don't want that wolf to get her.
Sandy Aldridge is talking about an incident from April where a wolf at Bowen's Columbus facility bit a small child. Owen calls it an isolated incident.
I've had 20,000 people come since I started in 2015. For general exercise, if this room would like to take 20,000 people and have them go jogging, do aerobics, you would have 106 injuries.
No charges were filed against Owen or Zoopolis. If you personally want to own an animal and not operate a business or sanctuary, then the state, not the USDA, has authority to approve or deny the permit.
It's pretty strict for any of the dangerous animals in particular. The other animals that we don't consider as dangerous, there are still housing requirements.
DNR spokesperson Lene Peterchev says the agency will inspect a potential permit holder's home to make sure it has adequate housing for the animal and the proper fencing to keep it inside. DNR says the permits are per animal, not per person, and there are 442 of them currently statewide. More than 100 of them are Class 3 permits, the most dangerous animals. 84 of those are for venomous reptiles. The rest of the permits are for less dangerous Class 2 and Class 1 animals like foxes and beavers. On Kelly Thomas's farm in Avon, west of Indianapolis, foxes, peacocks, even turtles have found a new home. But she didn't seek any of these animals out. They're here because people, in a lot of cases, got permits to own them, then at some point decided they no longer wanted them or they couldn't take care of them. She says the state needs stricter laws and animal control officials need to do a better job of educating the public about exotic animals.
If the public knows that there's that many exotic animals out there that are being mistreated and abandoned, it might not happen as much.
But the DNR says any changes to Indiana's exotic animal laws would have to originate in the state legislature.
Basically, the state legislature set forth a law a number of years ago requiring the DNR to permit certain animals, but they exempted them if they had the federal permit.
Taft says the state doesn't need additional regulations. What needs to happen is the state and the feds have to work in tandem, enforcing laws already on the books.
I think that there are a lot of bad situations that wouldn't happen if there was both a state and federal permit.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Adam Pinsker.
Indiana's laws are more lenient than nearly all of its neighboring states. You probably remember an Ohio case from 2011.
Yeah, there's a lion on Mount Perry Road in Grayshot.
I'm pretty sure, and I just saw a wolf.
Police were forced to kill dozens of tigers, lions, and bears that were set free by a man who owned them. That incident prompted the state to pass sweeping exotic animal reform.